What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited today. I finally got my hands on a PRL downpipe that I'm going to install for my 22 Civic Si. I'm super excited. It's going to completely open up the car. We're going to see some power gains. The car should sound a little bit different, and it's going to pair right into the PRL front pipe that you guys saw me install. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. It's not too difficult. There's some parts that we have to remove, like the heat shield. We're going to remove some stuff from the air intake so we have more room to work, but only a couple screws to kind of go in and remove the O2 sensor, and I'm going to show you how to do that from the top, from the engine bay, and then below the engine bay, because that's how we're going to remove it. So definitely stick around and stay tuned so that you can see the install of my PRL downpipe.
Too much going on. Don't know what makes me mad, boy. I can hate better being hollow. Got too much issues, too much issues.
Okay, guys, now the first thing we want to do, obviously, is we want to lift the car. I got my jack here, the car's already lifted. I already did the other side, so not to bore you. We're gonna put our stand inside. We're gonna put it, make sure you find the right place to put your stands. I'm using the same spot as I did last time. Now we're gonna take this jack out. There's this little turn here. We're gonna turn it very slowly so that we lower the car just a little bit at a time. There it goes. Okay, and now it's on the stand. There we go. We'll put the jack all the way down, and you're gonna retighten it so the spring stays tight. Okay, now the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the wheels here, and I'm gonna put it underneath as a safety feature. You always wanna do that so that in case the stands fail or whatever, it falls on your wheel, and that way you have a little bit of extra safety there. So let me do that. All right, guys. Now that we have our tire finally underneath, everything's safe so that we can begin working on the car. Now the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this little tube here that connects the air intake to the inlet pipe. And that's gonna be super simple. We're just gonna remove some screws here that connects that. We're gonna remove the tube. That's gonna open up some space for us to kind of start working on removing the heat shield. Alright, guys, now that we're done taking out the little tube here that connects the air intake to the inlet, we have a little bit more room to work with. We're going to remove this little piece of heat shield. Should take about 3 bolts to do. There's one right here, there's one up here, and one down here that we're just going to remove. I'm using a 12mm wrench, and hopefully when I remove these bolts, it should just come off. Okay. Alright, guys, for the next piece, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the oxygen sensor, or the O2 sensor as they call it. You need a special tool to be able to access it. It's this little tool. As you can see, it has a little hole in it. That's for the O2 sensor, the wiring and all that to kind of fit on there. So you have a little bit of space to kind of put the wrench on. So I'm going to attach it, and I'm going to put on the wrench, and then I'm going to remove it. Okay, guys, so here we go. Here's the O2 sensor, the oxygen sensor. So we removed it. We're going to place this carefully out of the way, and this is what's going to go into the new downpipe once we have everything installed. This is very important. Don't mess with it. Don't try to pull it or anything, because the wires are very important. So we're just going to leave it here to the side, and then we're going to just leave it there. All right, guys. For the next part is the main piece. We're gonna start removing the OEM downpipe. Now, I definitely recommend using something like an impact gun to remove the nuts from the turbo and the downpipe, because there's a lot of heat that's generated there, and if you use a normal wrench, you might strip the nuts, and you might end up having to just have a big headache and everything. So I definitely recommend using an impact gun over a normal wrench. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here, and we're just gonna put the first one on. So we're just gonna there, and then we're gonna start Okay guys, now to get the last 2 bolts on the other side of the downpipe, I had to go fetch a universal joint, and that's because because I didn't remove the inlet pipe, the turbo inlet pipe, there's not a lot of space to work with. So this universal joint is really gonna allow me to kind of get in there. Okay, there we go, it's connected. So now we're gonna all right, we got that one loose. Now to get the one below, I need an extension. Okay, almost there. So now we're gonna all right guys, we're in here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove some bolts that connects the downpipe to the front pipe. There's just 3 bolts that connect the downpipe to the front pipe, and then there's 2 to 4 bolts and nuts that connect that kind of like a little sway bar here that connect the downpipe to kind of right here. So we have to loosen these 3 bolts. There's one right here, one right here, one right here. I'm gonna do that with the impact gun, and then there's this bolt, and then 2 over here that I'm going to do with this. Alright guys, here is the OEM downpipe. As you can tell, it's very big. The new downpipe that we got from PRL is going to be way better. Here's the heat shield, which we're going to remove from these little bolts. We're going to add it to the PRL one, and then we're going to take a look at this new downpipe. Here we go. Here's the new PRL downpipe. You can tell it's a way better design. Here's a catalytic converter. It's from a G-Sport catalytic converter. Completely all stainless steel. You can look at the welds, very pretty welds. Very, very high quality product. So we're gonna start installing this now, and then we're gonna see what it sounds like. All right guys, we're finally done. We're underneath the car. I'm about to hook up the front pipe to the downpipe. Now the PRL downpipe did come with this, a new little gasket. So remember, we're gonna add that to the connection so that it gives a good strong hold. And I'm just gonna install that. I'm gonna put all the bolts on. I'm not gonna show you exactly how to do that because it's the same thing as removing it, just backwards. So I'm just gonna work, and it's gonna be a quick pace part of the video. All right, guys, now that we have, you know, the bottom stuff added on, all that's left is to put on the wheels and we're all set to go. Okay, guys, last thing, to put these tires back on. Now they are really heavy, so if you need help, you know, find someone that can help you. I'm just gonna line this up as best I can and lift them up. Alright guys, we finally did it. We installed the PRL downpipe here on my 22 Civic SI. You know, the car is fine. I checked it. I ran it for a little bit. No check engine light is on, which is a feature from this downpipe. I think I know with the 27.1 downpipe, you have to get a tune before the check engine light is removed. So that's a good thing about this one. All that's left is for me to kind of drive around, check out how it sounds. See if I feel any power differences, which I'll definitely let you know, which I should definitely feel some power differences. But stay tuned, I got some more updates for the car, and thanks for watching.